I've started doing some of the micro block. Almost finished the micro blocks on this side, and now I need to do the micro blocks on this side. I left out the micro blocks, but it's taking so long, and I know I've only started. I've only done this bit today. Look how many blocks I've been using. Oh, it's mad. Anyway, but for today I've got a different idea. First of all, we need a power system if we're going to start with mechanism, because as soon as this facility is up and running, I want to start doing mechanism again, and just do all the stuff that you need, because this is all the really basic stuff. And even though this is good, there's nowhere near enough room to keep doing what I'm doing. So today is going to be more of a spotlight episode. I'm going to be showing off another world, in fact, on another mod pack called Steve's Galaxy that we played on the Technic launcher a while ago with the other Z team members. But I'm just going to be primarily going over my nuclear reactor design, but also just spotlighting some of the other attributes of the world. But before we do that, I'm going to make the digital miner, or the, as we've come to nickname it, the Dig-It-All miner. This one. Basically, you give it a power signal and tell it what to mine, and it'll mine it for you. And I know we don't really need that because of the red morning, the power flower. Ooh, my W key stopped working for a second. I got a new keyboard and I keep pressing the wrong keys. Yeah, I know we could just condense this into the stuff that we need, but pff, where's the fun in that? So, I'm gonna go and just make the digital miner. I'll be back. Now that Christmas is over, as much as I hate to do this, we're gonna need to get rid of this tree. So, what's the most inventive way I could get rid of a Christmas tree? Well, I expected that to be better. Big reactors. Which is pretty amazing. But to start off with anything to do with big reactors, you need reactor casing. And to use reactor casing, you need this graphite, which is basically just smelting coal. Now, that's easy because coal's everywhere, but we're going to need it in bulk. I'm going to make the most efficient big reactor I possibly can. But to do this, I also need to get into thermal expansion to get some of the really basic machines like the pulverizer and the fluid transposer and stuff, and the magma crucible more than anything, to be honest. So, I'm just going to go into another world and look at my setup just to get familiar with it, and I'll use this chance to spotlight the world as well. I will see you in the next one. Now we're on the world. Welcome to the Steve's Galaxy mod pack. I think I might have done a video in it before, not actually showcasing the actual spotlight, the mods though. Now, what am I gonna look over? Basically just my base. Zombies everywhere. One of the mods must affect the spawn rate because there are way too many of them. My game sounds are way too loud. Ooh. Why have they all got those weird helmets? Anyway, yeah, so I keep pressing double space to fly, I gotta press a key. This is Sam Owen's base. You may know his channel if you're affiliated with the Z team. You may know Desto, he's been in a few of my videos. Sarge has been in a few, and Resonant, he's also in the Z team. His Russian space embassy over here. And then there's my house here. I got those Enderman heads outside I found. So this is the reactor design I'm going for. Now I've got two of them because 2 means double the power, and I've got the digital miner to get the fuel for it, so I've never actually had a problem with fueling it. I've put it directly hooked up into a tesseract, so the power will directly receive into my facility. If I go over inside now, I gotta press 5 on the number pad for the jetpack. Go downstairs to my lab, and here we are, the ultimate energy cubes. I've filled them. The reactor's actually on at the minute. They should be off by default, I would have thought. We're running 2 mass fabricators, which I thought would actually be more power consuming, but it's actually not that power consuming. If I use the staff of travelling to go behind the scenes, basically the mass fabricator setup I've got, if you're familiar with mass fabricator setups, you know how much they drain. I've got loads and loads of these basic igneous extruders just pumping cobblestone straight into these recyclers, which is making lots of scrap. and then the scrap is being sorted equally into the top of these mass fabricators to make them go faster. And these mass fabricators are being directly inputted by two MFEs, which they output 512 EU per tick, and the mass fabricators can input the exact amount, 512 EU per tick. And in this mod pack we've got EU and RF to be equivalent, so it's directly the correct amount of our EU going into these mass fabricators. And the amount of wind turbines and solar panels I've got outside, I don't actually need the reactor on unless I'm probably doing a lot of things with my machines. But I could probably afford to be running them 24/7 if I wanted to. This is a portal I've got to the moon, which is actually inactive because the moon's off limits for now, for some reason. Ooh, let's have a look over here. Anyway, so, yeah, the power, I'm getting it, this goes up to the Galacticraft stuff up here, but basically, I'm running a red alloy wire pulse straight from the lever on the other side of this block. The red alloy wire will go up the framed red alloy wire and straight into the redstone port of the reactors. So whenever I want to, I can just toggle them on or off. Am I losing power? No, we're not losing power. We've got plenty. All the machines are set up here. It turns out you can actually use mechanism oxygen for the oxygen compressor for Galacticraft. So if I go again here, I've got these aqueous accumulators getting water and putting them straight in these electrolytic separators. The separators are making hydrogen and oxygen. I used to use hydrogen for the jetpack, but now I've got really no use for it because I made this jet plate which runs off of RF and not hydrogen. The oxygen will go straight into the tank and also up here into the oxygen compressor. Now the cool thing about these universal cables and pretty much any cylinder objects from a mechanism is that when applied with a redstone signal they get disabled. So like this red alloy wire here, it breaks the thing, so I can turn these electrolytic separators off when I want to. Same goes for tesseracts. So I've basically got an on and off switch for most things. So if I turn hydrogen and oxygen on, if I go around here now, ooh, keep misclicking. There's so many zombies outside. The signal's broken and these are getting power and they're generating, and I should be losing power. Ooh, that's my electric chest. Did you see it sort of tick down a bit? So that's to do with it. Now the Tesseract is to power the digital miner, but also to pull the items. So I'm only going to have that on because it drains a lot of power. I only have that on when I'm running the digital miner. But the oxygen, hydrogen comes out here if I ever want to use it for anything. I've got all these machines. I can turn the oxygen system on over here to receive oxygen. I've got all these industrial craft machines which eat up loads of power, but I can afford to keep them on anyway. I've generated so much iridium. I've made 33, which is a lot for industrial craft iridium. But when I come up here now, I've got, this is like the amount of stuff I've got. If I go into ingots, whew, I can remember showing everybody and they were thinking that I cheated, and I didn't. Got a view of the lovely world that we got. There's the wind turbines. I'll show you I'll show you them now. Look at all the zombies. Get out of here. So many of them. So these reactors, I haven't even depleted the interior buffer yet. So as soon as I don't even need to keep them on 24/7. This is the Tesseract that goes straight into the base. Basically, I turn on the Tesseract and the reactors. These are the solar panels and the wind turbines that I'm using to power the base passively without turning the reactors on. So it's a good setup, I'd say. What else have we got on this world? We've got the moon, but the portal seems to be inactive unless somebody's already on there. We could launch a rocket, but I don't think I actually have the fuel on me. Since all my waypoints have been deleted, I don't know where any oil is either. Sam was trying to make tinker tools before we sort of stopped playing on the server. Dan was breeding dinosaurs. I forgot to show his giant pyramid. If we come up here, he's got like one solar panel. He was learning mods, so I won't give him grief over it. Except his horrible reactor design. If I come around here, oh, this jetpack is so powerful. I'm sure he won't mind since nobody's playing on this world. If I just break down his, I'm sure he won't care. Ooh. The inside. He wasn't very efficient, but he tried. Condenser. Kinetic generator. I don't even know what this stuff is. So yeah, I remember the slime island. This was like the first place we tried to go, but nerd pull didn't quite work, and somebody fell off eventually. We were running the meteor mod, but I got rid of it eventually because we were just sick of getting our houses hit by like kitty comets. So that's the story of that. But anyway, yeah, this world was pretty good. So I'm just gonna take a look at the reactor design. I know exactly what it would be, what the interior of it would be like just by looking at the outside, because it's every other block is a fuel port, and then it's gelid chirothelium or chirothium, which is actually the liquid that my skin's based off of. Ooh, I didn't want to take my jetpack off, but there we go, because I've got different variants and colours of my skin. So yeah, this was oh yeah, Chain Golem had a house for a while. This was the Steve's Galaxy world. I hope you enjoyed the little spotlight that I did. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.